What's going on, everybody? We are here live as we are every Thursday. This time we're sitting in traffic. We're stuck in what appears to be some really rough traffic, but hopefully it won't last very long. Glad that you could join us, the King of Chaos here, the boss man, Joey B. So happy you're here with us. Feel free to go right ahead and like, comment, share this. Please share this. The more people that you bring into this, the better. As always, boss man, how are you feeling tonight?
Back is killing me.
Oh, of course, my back's been killing me. I've been carrying this company for how long?
Oh, I know. It hurts so bad.
Again, so glad you guys could join us. Again, we didn't discuss much of anything in terms of how we're gonna roll with this, but we're going to wing it. Maybe we're gonna talk about some independent wrestling. We've been talking about independent wrestling, I don't know, for quite some time in this car ride, putting things together for future shows, talking about, talent that stands out to us. Had an interesting event this past weekend. I don't know, yeah, you know what? Lowlife Louie Jr. is hopping in right here and immediately asked me about it. I'm feeling, my feet are just starting to feel a little bit better after those barefoot Legos. Yes, you heard that correct, everybody. I did a barefoot Legos match this past Saturday for Synergy Wrestling out in South Jersey. That was pretty ridiculous. I mean, if you guys have ever, any of you who have kids or anything like that, if you've stepped on Legos, it's not fun. It kind of seriously sucks. And that was the entire premise of the match was, barefoot and being in Legos, and, we were bumping all over those things, and I got dropped at my feet in an atomic drop style, so I took the knees right in the base of the spine, and then the feet right into the Legos, and that kind of seriously sucked. Joe, have you ever done any barefoot Legos matches in your time? No. Joe has barely done matches in his time.
That's right.
So yeah, that was an interesting weekend on a very interesting weekend full of shows. Friday night we had pulled together some stuff for the Warriors of Wrestling students. We put together a little show for friends and family, as we do, try and give these guys some ring time, and had a little bit of fun. I wrestled against Vinny Pagano in his first match. Apparently Vinny had a little bit of fun after the student show. That's what I hear, Joe?
Yeah.
A little too much fun, maybe?
I don't know about him. Some of his friends have skipped out on the bill, from what I understand.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Chris Benny wasn't too happy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Nor was anybody else at the table.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's no good.
But he made right for it, so, hey, mistakes happen.
Yeah, no, you gotta do what you gotta do. If your friends are gonna be douchebags, you gotta make that, gotta go about that the right way. So that was my Friday night. Sunday, we did another round of those Warriors of Wrestling studio tapings.
Why don't we talk about that?
If you'd like to talk about that, you can. I'm going to absolve myself from that. I had a really good match.
You're the one who puts this shit together, and now you want to talk about it.
Put it together.
I have nothing to do with this.
No, hold on. Let's talk about what Joe, because Joe likes to pass the buck. Joe is a cheap Jewish man. He's not. He's actually not. He's a cheap man, but he's far from Jewish. I'm the Jew amongst the group, am I not?
Kiss is having the farewell throw, by the way.
Ooh! As I like to affectionately call him a Jewish man. No, Joe likes to pass the buck.
Talk your way out of this.
So, it's not talking about
First of all, the buck is not on me.
The buck is 100% on you. You know why? There was a match about a year ago that Joe likes to bring up all the time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Between one current Warriors of Wrestling student, one not so current Warriors of Wrestling student.
Okay.
And after that, Joe was like, you need to be doing better with these. I go, you know what, Joe? That's fine. You are in that group. If a match is put together and you don't like it, say something and it's done.
Okay. Let's talk about the match from a year ago. Both those people, I'm not going to say their names.
That's fine.
Are fully trained, or they're trained.
Right.
They at least know how to lock up. Now, at the time, neither one of them, probably one now, still doesn't know how to put a match together.
Yeah, right.
But a bad match is one thing. Being improperly trained is another.
Oh, there's absolutely no excuse. So I'm going to give you guys the insight onto how.
I'm going to defend what you said here. You said if I see him, Jake, this is your thing. This is your baby. You do it this.
Right, but so you are in the group.
When people are putting up matches, I don't know who these guys are. I watched the match just because I didn't know who. When you write the results, and
you got to put it together. I recognize that.
So I go to the end of the match to see who won with the most, so I know who's who. I just happened to look at the match. They didn't even know how to lock up. So I was like, I got to see this.
Again, I was taking a poop in the beginning of that match, or else it probably would have been a very different reaction.
That's nice because the two guys in the ring would take one right in the ring.
I can't help that if I'm taking a poop elsewhere.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
I'd like to hear this.
No, so the way that we run things at the Warriors of Wrestling studio tapings, it's not this way anymore, apparently, because it needs to change. Because honestly, we have a good setup and crew of people at this point, a whole lot of regulars, a whole lot of really great talent. that I don't really need anybody, new. I love new faces, but got to make sure that you get the right kind of new faces, right? So the way that it works is if you are recommended or suggested by somebody, you'd be added to the group. For the longest time, it was that case.
And I think that's a good idea.
Which it certainly is. One of the people involved happened to be recommended by somebody.
Who, and Ray Charles?
You wrestled Ness on one of the tapings, like you said. You did edit that match.
Again, unless you tell me this, like, Tyree wrestled on this one. You said check out his match. When Bear Bronson first came around, I said check out this guy's match. When there's somebody good, you tell me check out. Otherwise, I just put their names on, put the music on, put the little logo on.
Except this one you watched.
Well, because I need to see I wanted to see who these guys were so I could say
right. No, I understand
what the fuck I'm doing.
Right. So again, that's pretty much what it came down to. If somebody was recommended, they were put in, and I said, all right. The two guys drove in together. And honestly, and you know this too, if you drive in with somebody and you're new, I usually put those guys together because it means...
And then when I put that status up, what the fuck is this shit, be trained, the guy writes me saying he is trained and that he's blaming the other guy. And I'm thinking, so I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. So I looked at his profile. I said, wait a minute. You're the one that sucks. The other guy, I'm not saying he was great, but I wonder if he was a lot better than the other one. You know what I mean? He's trying to put the blame on the guy that looked halfway decent. At least the guy had gear. This guy wrestled in an M&M shirt. It looked like a meth head from Oklahoma. Christ, you're trying to tell me if I'm not going to say something nice, I'll say nothing at all. Next time he comes, I'll wrestle in the mask. I'll just show up. Put him in there with me.
I don't think there's any reason for anybody to be wrestling from that anymore. I don't think they'd be coming back. And that's the truth. Honestly, I have to go. No, I have to go about things a different way at this point. I have to be vetting people whole about. That's exactly what I'm doing. I've gotten requests from 2 people to join.
We shouldn't have to do that. We would.
No, I should. But it does make sense. Like if you think about it now, it honestly does make sense. Let me vet people. Let me put people in there who I know are good. If you look competent in your fucking matches, then what am I gonna? I can't say no.
Right.
But if you don't look competent, what am I gonna do? So that's what I'll be doing from now on. There was 2 people that wrote me this week asking to be a part of the studio taping group.
I like when new people come in.
No, and I do too. Like we said, Tyree had a fucking hell of a debut this Sunday.
And he's somebody we're talking about bringing in. We had
absolutely,
a conversation earlier.
Absolutely.
And I know Tyree anyway, but
Yeah. So, like I said,
look, a bad match is a bad match. Everybody has bad matches.
Yeah.
But
we know.
If you don't know how to lock up, that's something in my head.
There's no...
And you start working the wrong side.
There's no excuse in terms of the work. Like I said, I came in and they were already at the high spots.
That was after the lockup.
Was it immediately afterwards?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I took a poop. I was pooping. James Haynes wants to be in the studio group. Why don't you start training James Haynes? We're just sitting here talking about no untrained people, and this guy wants to be part of the fucking group. Anyway, so 2 people wrote me this week, and I asked them to send me matches. I'll probably get to watching those at some point this weekend when I have any of that. Tim says it was bad pairing if you put either of them against Ness or somebody. Yes and no. I mean, it could very well be the case, but in all honesty, if I'm traveling with somebody, you should be able to have a decent match with them. That's the way that it goes, man. And Tim, I know that, you've been, photographing wrestling shows for a long time. You've seen plenty of bad matches, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, if I'm traveling with somebody and someone decides to put us together...
Where does Tim take pictures at?
All over. He's taking pictures of our tapings, then I'm all over Jersey.
Yeah, in Jersey, I'm sure he's definitely seen some bad wrestling. I don't know Tim.
Yeah, you've met him before.
Have I?
Travels with Scotty Cerriti.
I know Scotty.
He's got a similar hair to me, except it's light colored.
I'd have to see him.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you probably forget him anyway. Forget everybody. So yeah, then we're going about things in a very different way now.
You have to, for safety reasons.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. That's the other thing, man. I don't want to put anybody out there. I don't want to put myself out there with somebody who's, isn't trained properly.
A fully trained guy could break his arm. Obviously, we trust him.
Joe's never met him.
I never met him?
Yeah. Here's Joe's never met me, LOL.
Let's see.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Adriana was there as well, wrestled Frankie Picard in a really fun, hard-hitting match. We called it the fucking cops match. Domestic dispute.
Why?
It was a dating.
Oh, I don't know who they are.
Beat the piss out of each other. You met Frankie Picard before. He worked Plug at that thing in Jersey.
Yes.
Ring rental.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, again, a lot of these are a lot of fun matches, but again, every once in a blue you get turned onto like some kind of shit. And I mean, it is what it is. I try.
You know what? Look, green people I don't have a problem with. But don't sit here and tell me you're trained and I look at your profile and there's pictures of you in somebody's backyard.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not properly trained.
No, I listen. You can't get any complaints from me on that. Nothing wrong with what you're saying. And again, it puts me in a weird position where now, like, I have to spend extra time, like, legitimately vetting people, and it's not what I want to be doing. I have good wrestling that I need to be watching, and not like potentially awful wrestling. But like I said, I got 2 matches this week to watch from 2 different people, and I'll be interested to see how it turns out. Maybe we'll have new people at the taping. Maybe we won't. That referee, Ryan, who referees for us, he had started training, and he had asked for a match, and it was Well, the referee. The taller guy, referee from New England.
Who do you wrestle on the studio?
It was Dirtbag Dan and his tag partner. It was him and somebody.
What's his name? Who's the tall one?
That's Ryan.
Oh, I thought that was Power.
No. Chris Power is the smaller guy does the...
I would think the bigger guy is Chris Power.
Oh, no. Chris Power is not Chris Power.
Whatever.
Yeah, words.
That big guy is Ryan? I never knew that.
And it's admittedly green, just like, if you could fit me in. And last taping, I said, hey, dude, like, let's see where you are next time. He sent me a match, and there was some improvements, so I'm like, let's go with it. And that's all I could ask for. That's a guy who's trained in a legit place and is, working. He wants to improve. So that's that. We move on to other things now.
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just going. So... Let's talk, because we're sitting here, and this eventually has turned into a podcast that you can listen to on your phone if you're watching here with anything. It's like that. It's somewhat interactive. I've come across a really awesome wrestling podcast that I'm going to pass along, not just because it's friends of mine who do it, because it's actually a really good podcast. Off the Hop Rope, if you guys could check that out on all your, wherever you get your podcasts thrown. It is Smart Mark Sterling, CPA, and Top Shelf Troy Nelson. And the podcast is a mixture of, they talk about wrestling, and they pick a match every week that they talk over, and they also review craft beers, because those 3 guys are craft beer guys. So they pair a match and a craft beer together that kind of makes some kind of sense. And it's really cool. I mean, the beer stuff is lost on me, obviously, but I honestly, like, those guys are really chill to talk wrestling with. I've always enjoyed talking wrestling with them. James Haynes, when is Cannonball coming back? You can check out the match from these past tapings, and hold on, maybe possibly soon. Who knows? Working on something like that. What wrestling podcast are you listening to, Joe?
Something to wrestle with.
That's the standard. Everyone listens to that.
I listen to 83 Weeks for Bischoff.
See, I'm not a huge fan of that one.
To me, it's just the WCW version of Something to Wrestle With.
Right, but Bischoff is full of shit.
Is he?
And he's been called out on being full of shit multiple times.
Well, I mean, so who else is going to give you that insight?
Right, but it's a matter of, like,
I don't think he's full of... He says he can't remember a lot of stuff.
But it's not a matter of can't remember. So my issue is never the can't remember. It's when you got Jericho and other people going like, yeah, that's complete bullshit, and this person can cop to the story, and they do.
Well, I mean, I don't know what he was called out on. I'm just listening to it, I'm sure Conrad has no problem calling him out.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're talking about Conrad, who wasn't there,
right,
against someone like Jericho or Raven, who was, which is a major difference. It's the same reason that I don't listen to the Vince Russo podcast, because that guy is just fucking...
I just can't stand the way he talks.
Bro! Fucking CPA loves that fucking podcast. Fucking worships it.
I mean, there is some topics on there I found interesting.
No, he just fucking thinks Vince Russo is a cartoon character.
I mean... There was some guests he had on there that were pretty interesting. When he had China on there, I listened to it. Who else? When he went on the rant after China died, I listened to it. That's really
Bro. Carney's got back to me. They're not available.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't stand that guy in general because he's so fucking full of shit and takes credit for literally everything.
Cornette.
What?
I'm not really.
Cornette's I listen to here and there. I liked Cornette was for a bit doing this thing where he would talk about like a big OVW show that he was like booking and put together, and then like they'd go and talk about all the hype leading up to the show and all that. They did the one that was Christmas Chaos or whatever it was, but they had it in January because there was a blizzard during Christmas. So, they couldn't have the show. But like, this is when OVW was like bringing in like Austin and The Undertaker to like do appearances, which is pretty fucking amazing to see those guys on an indie, like, technically an indie show.